Highways vanished, towns were buried, and as northern England froze, Scotland was pulled into the storm.
Oh man. Oh my god.
Tim!
Watch it guys, watch it! Oh
Today is January 2026. Northern England was hit by a winter blast that intensified far faster than anyone expected. What began as light flurries drifting quietly across the countryside suddenly transformed into a crippling whiteout event, burying towns and rural communities under up to 20 inches of snow. Roads vanished, power lines froze, and thousands of people found themselves stranded in conditions that felt more like the Rocky Mountains than the English coast. At the center of the crisis was Yorkshire, where Arctic air collided with unstable coastal winds pouring in from the North Sea. For viewers across the United States, where winter storms from Colorado to New England regularly shut down entire regions, the Yorkshire snow emergency offers a clear warning of how fast winter weather can spiral out of control. This was not just bad weather. It was a sudden atmospheric shift that pushed emergency crews, transportation networks, and everyday families to the edge. The turning point came just after sundown. Temperatures across North and East Yorkshire plunged into the mid-20s Fahrenheit, allowing every incoming snowband to freeze instantly on contact. What had been scattered flurries intensified into dense walls of blowing snow, driven inland by 40 to 50 mph wind gusts. Traffic cameras along the A171 and A169 captured the moment conditions collapsed. Cars that had been moving steadily just minutes earlier were swallowed by zero-visibility blizzard bursts. Drivers abandoned vehicles on the roadway, attempting to push forward on foot as snowdrifts piled up to 2 feet in under an hour. Highways linking coastal villages to inland towns became impassable almost instantly. Emergency crews raced to respond, but the storm outpaced even the fastest deployments. Snowplows stalled. Gritting trucks lost traction on icy hillsides. Police issued urgent alerts telling residents to stay indoors and avoid all non-essential travel. Local broadcasters described it as a blackout of snow, a storm so thick that front porches vanished behind a solid curtain of white. Along the coast, communities from Whitby to Scarborough reported rare bursts of thunder snow, lightning flashing through the storm clouds as heavy snow continued to fall. By midnight, Yorkshire was no longer dealing with a winter storm. It was facing a rapidly expanding regional emergency. As the night deepened, the storm entered its most dangerous phase. Snowfall that had already crippled highways began overwhelming neighborhoods, rural villages, and isolated farm roads. In exposed areas, drifts climbed past 3 feet, swallowing fences, parked cars, and entire front yards. Families huddled indoors as power flickered under the weight of ice-coated lines. Some communities experienced complete outages, forcing residents to rely on flashlights and wood-burning stoves for warmth. Emergency call centers were inundated. Between 6 p.m. and 2 a.m., responders received hundreds of reports: stranded motorists, collapsed roofs, medical emergencies, and elderly residents trapped in their homes. Volunteer rescue teams using four-wheel drive vehicles and tractors worked alongside fire brigades to reach those cut off by the storm. Progress was painfully slow. In parts of the moors, visibility dropped to less than 10 feet, forcing rescuers to advance yard by yard. Rail services ground to a halt as snow froze on overhead lines. Bus routes were suspended. Even experienced gridding crews admitted defeat on some rural roads, reporting that surfaces refroze within minutes under relentless crosswinds. And while Yorkshire battled the worst of the snow, the storm was already spreading north. Snow bands pushed into southern Scotland, dragging the same Arctic air mass with them. Parts of the Scottish borders and southern highlands reported rapidly falling temperatures, increasing snowfall rates, and growing travel disruptions. Gusty winds funneled through valleys, creating blowing snow and dangerous visibility on exposed roads. Authorities in Scotland issued weather warnings as conditions deteriorated, urging drivers to avoid higher elevations and rural routes. While snowfall totals there were lower than in Yorkshire, the timing was critical. Early season cold meant roads iced over quickly, increasing the risk of accidents and isolation in remote communities. Behind the chaos was a rare but powerful meteorological setup. A deep trough of Arctic air plunged southward across the UK, lowering ground temperatures to near 28 degrees Fahrenheit across northern England and southern Scotland. At the same time, strong northerly winds crossed the North Sea, absorbing moisture before slamming into colder inland terrain. The result was a lake effect-style snow event, similar to what communities near the Great Lakes experience in the United States, but on a broader scale. Instead of brief flurries, Yorkshire endured hour after hour of convective snow showers, each capable of dropping 1 to 2 inches per hour. Higher elevations above 300 feet were hit hardest, where uplift over the moors supercharged snowfall totals. Forecasters also confirmed the presence of thundersnow, a rare phenomenon where lightning forms inside intense snow bands. These bursts caused sudden whiteouts and intensified drifting as wind gusts exceeded 45 mph, blasting snow sideways across open fields and highways. Compounding the danger was a rapid freeze-thaw cycle. Daytime temperatures hovered near freezing, allowing partial melt. After sunset, temperatures plunged, turning slush into solid ice. Roads that looked manageable at noon became deadly by nightfall. By dawn, Yorkshire had endured one of its harshest early-season winter nights in years. Across the region, the storm's true impact became clear. Abandoned vehicles littered highways, schools closed, businesses shuttered. Power crews worked through the cold, restoring electricity to darkened neighborhoods. Yet, amid the disruption, resilience emerged. Neighbors shoveled together. Farmers used tractors to clear paths. Volunteers delivered food, blankets, and medication to isolated residents. As conditions slowly improved, officials emphasized a critical lesson. Early-season winter storms can be the most dangerous because they arrive before people are fully prepared. For audiences in the United States, from the Midwest to New England, the story is familiar. Roads disappearing under whiteouts, communities cut off, emergency crews racing against time. As the storm eased and silence returned to snow-covered landscapes across Yorkshire and into Scotland, one truth remained clear. Winter does not need warning to become extreme. It demands respect, preparation, and community. Because when nature pushes harder than expected, survival depends not just on forecasts, but on people coming together. Today is January 2026, and officials across northern England and southern Scotland